Hello students, welcome to your computer classroom. So I hope all of you are fit. So as in the previous class, we have covered about QBasic, the different elements. So let us revise those which we have covered in the next previous class. So then we will move to the next topic. So earlier we have seen that what are the elements of the QBasic, and this we have gone through character set. So character set is all the combination of the different alphabets, the numbers, some special symbols like plus, minus, star, clear. And the alphabets, it can be the capital from A to Z and the small a to Z, clear. So this all is the part of character set. Then we have seen what is constant. So constant is something which does not change during the program execution, which is fixed, the value which is fixed, so that is called as constant, clear. And in the constant there are two types we have seen. One is numeric constant and another is string constant, clear. So in the numeric constant means whatever the numerical values we have, that will be the numeric constant. So it also can have decimal points, positive and negative numbers, clear. So this can be the part of numeric constant, any value, any numerical value. It can also be negative, then decimal, then positive numbers. So this is the numeric constant. Next is the string constant. So what is string constant? Whenever we are writing any combination of characters or a character and that is written in the double quotes, so that will be called as a string constant, clear. So for writing the string constant we will need to write the values in double quotes, clear. So whatever the text you will write, that will be written in the double quotes. And this can also, some characters, some few blank spaces can be included, clear. So this is the string constant. And then we have seen, if we come to the next, we have seen what are variables. First erase this. So what are variables? Variable is something which the value of which keeps on changing. So for that we have seen the example of memory location, that whatever the data we are saving in the computer, so suppose we are saving any value 10 and the name of this memory location is x. So this x will be a variable and 10 will be a constant, clear. So what is variable? The name of a memory location, and this value which is fixed, which is saved in the memory location, so this is the constant. Okay, so I hope it is clear what is constant and what is variable now. So these variables are also of two types, numeric variables and string variables, clear. So in the numeric variables, only the values which are saving the numerical values. For example, if you write class is equal to 6, so this class is a variable because this is holding a numerical value, clear. So this 6 is a value which is a constant, and this is saved in the variable which is having a name, that is class. So class is a variable, as we have just seen that x here. So in the place of x, whatever the name we want to choose, so if I am writing class in the place of x, so that will be a variable, and this value, the numerical value which is saved, so that will be a constant. So this is a numerical value. Numeric value means the variable which is having or saving the numbers. Then next is string variable. So what is string variable? String variable is used to store the string of characters, clear. So and this is written with a dollar symbol. So whatever the name of the variable, you will use a dollar sign to write the name of the string variable. And as this string variable will save the string constant, so this string constant is always written in the double quotes, which we have just seen. Then we were talking about some operators. So operators we have seen. What are operators? Operators are some symbols which also are used in the maths. So there is two term, one is operator and another is operand. So if I write 2 plus 5, so in this 2 plus 5, this plus symbol is the operator, and the numbers on which this addition is being done, so these are called as operands. Clear? So I hope the terms we have seen here also, that if I am writing 5 plus 6, then this plus symbol is the operator. Clear? So this plus is the operator, and 5 and 6 which are constant, these are the operands. Clear? So the concept of operands and operator is important to understand, that whatever the symbol we are using, that is operator, and the number on which this is being used, that is the operand. Okay, and in that we have seen the various different operators like plus, minus, multiplication. We have seen that the division is having three types. One is normal division, so it can give you whatever the quotient which we are getting. Then one is integer division, so integer division will give you the only the integer part. So if I write or divide 9 by 2, so for the integer division we have the back space symbol. So this 9 integer division to the value which is normally the value is something 4.5, but when you will use the integer division, only the integer part is given to you, and 5 will 0.5 will be not taken. So only the 4 will be the result when we will use the integer division. Then exponent we have seen, that when we write something in power, so for exponent we use this symbol like 4 exponent 3. So this will give you the exponent result. Then modular division we have seen, that when we write mod, so it will give you the remainder, like when 7 is divided by 3, the remainder is 1. Clear? After the arithmetic operators, we have started the relational operator. So relational operator, when we are comparing two values or two similar values. For example, if we compare any two numbers, so for the comparison we use different symbols like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and equal to. So these are all the different operators which we use for relating or for relation. Clear? And whatever is the result of this, the result is given in either 0 or 1 form. So when it is 0, it means it is false, and when it is 1, it means it is true. So this is all about the relational operator. Now next is the logical operator. Okay, so they are used to combine two or more relational expressions. They can be calculation to return a single value. It can be true or false. The logical operators are and, or, and not. Clear? So these are some operators, if and, or, and not. So for that we use the logical operators. So that is for combining two relations. Clear? For example, if there is a plus b, then a minus b, so these are the relational or the arithmetical operator. Clear? So if we want to relate these two relational expression together, so we can use or in between or and in between, something like that. Clear? So two expression, any of expression can be, so these can be related using the logical operators. So or, and not, so these are the logical operators. Okay, Now coming to the next, which is some statements. So till now we have discussed the different character set. Right now we are discussing the elements, in which we have seen character set, constant, variable, then operator, and next is the statement. So let us see the statements now. So what are statement and what is the use of them? So statement is a single command is called as statement. So whatever the command which we give you, which we give to the computer in the QBasic, that is called as statement. Every programming language has some special set of commands to give instructions to the computer. QBasic has a set of commands for performing different tasks. Clear? So whatever the programming language which we are using, these all programming language have some you can say some instructions, using which only we can write the program, or we can give the instruction. Clear? So in the same way, the QBasic also have some commands. So these commands are used for different tasks. Now we will see few of these commands and what are their you can say the task which they perform. So first is rem command. Clear? REM, that is rem command. So rem command is used for, or is stands for remark. Clear? So it is executable statement that is ignored by the computer while execution of the program. It is used at the beginning of the program to give it a title. Clear? So suppose if we are writing a program, and at the top of that program we want to give some title, that this program is for adding two numbers or something like that. So for that we can use the rem command. So write like this, that rem, then whatever the statement you want to write, like program for addition. Clear? So this is a statement which can be written written at the top or the beginning of the program. So if we write program for addition or program for adding, so this can be written with the rem command. So what is the function of the rem command? Rem command is used for writing any statement, or you can say writing any remark. We are only telling the user that this program is for this purpose. So this is the use of rem command. So rem command are non-executable, means this will not be executed in the program. There is no meaning to execute this statement, only this will be displayed in the result, that this is the title of that. Clear? So this is rem command is a non-executable statement, and that is used for giving remarks. So here also you can see example, that suppose we are writing any program for division of two numbers, so we can write a statement like rem program for division of two numbers. Now next is cls command. So cls is a command which is used for clearing the screen. We will see how this cls is used. So this command is used to clear the output screen. So whatever the earlier statement or any program which you have run on the screen, so that will be there. So if you want to clear the screen, we can use the cls command for that. So whenever you run a program without clearing the screen, the output of the previous program also remains on the output screen. So just we were talking about that, if you have earlier, if you have run any program, so whatever the output is there, that will be present on the output screen. So if you want to make it clean, if you want to erase all the previous output, for that we can use the cls command. So always use the cls commands at the beginning of a program to clear the previous one. So simply, what is the syntax of this? Syntax means in each of these statement you can see there is a syntax written. Syntax means this is the way of writing that particular command. Clear? So before this also we have seen what is the meaning of syntax in the previous update your knowledge. You can see, let us erase this first. So syntax, you can see that syntax is the correct method of giving a set of instructions in a programming language. So this gives you that what is the correct method of writing that particular statement or that particular command. Clear? So in the same way here also we can see the different syntax of different commands like rem command, cls. Clear? So now you can see that this is the syntax of the cls command. So simply you have to write cls in the beginning of the program, so that whatever the output which is present on the screen of the previous program, that will be erased. Clear? Okay, now next is input command. Okay, come to this next new command, that is input command. So what is input command? This command is used to enter data assigned to the variable. Clear? So whatever the value which you want to uh, take from the user, or whatever the value which a variable will hold, so that can be given using the input command. Let us first read this. So this command is used to enter data assigned to the variable given within the program while it is running. Input commands wait for the user to type a line of text into the text output window. When the user hits enter key, the line is read into a variable. Clear? So if we want, suppose, to add two numbers and we don't want to give 2 and 5 or any two numbers in the beginning, this numbers will be given by the user while the program is running. So we can give something like input, you can see example here, like he can give like input n. So whatever the, if it is, there are two things as you have seen, the by the dollar symbol it is the string variable, and when it is a simple variable it means it is a numeric variable. So if I write something input x, so it means it will take some numeric value. Clear? And when I am writing some variable name with the dollar symbol, it means that is it is a string variable. So according to the variable we can use the input command. What is the use of input command? Use of the input command is to take the input from the user, so that whatever the variable which is being used in the program, the user can give a input. So as we were talking about, for example, if you want to add two numbers, so we will write something like input n. So then when you write input n in the output window, there will be a question mark, means whatever the value you want to give, you can give. So first if you write 5, then suppose if I write input x, so this was the value given. If I write input y, again if you write there will be a question mark. If you give another number like 3, and when I run x plus y, clear? So this type of statement, when you will run it, it will give you the result like 8. So this time 5 and 3 we have not given in the beginning. This values we have given during the execution of program, when the program is running. So for this type of thing, to take the input while the program is running, we take the we use the input command. Clear? I hope this is clear, that what is the use of input command. Next is, so here also you can see the syntax of the input command is given. Whatever the input statement name of the command, then whatever the message you want to write, then the variable name. Clear? So this is the syntax of this, and there are a few examples. So here we have written the input and the variable name. So there is no message. If you want to write the message, we can include the message in double quotes. Clear? Next is end command. So what is end command? End command is used to terminate the program. So if you want to end the program, if you want to terminate it, terminate means to close it. So for using that, we can use the end command. After reaching the end command, the computer stops moving further in a program and prints this message: press any key to continue. Clear? So suppose we have written a program, so and at the end of the program, if you want to terminate the program, we can use the end statement in the program itself. Clear? So this is the syntax. Simply write end at last of your program. So, and what is the function of end command? The end command will terminate your program. Terminate means that it will stop at that particular step. So this is the use of end command. Now next is let command. So these are the different names of the command. Only we are learning about these. We will see how we can use this when we will make some program, which is given in this chapter also. So next is let command. So what is let command? Let command is used to assign a value or a data to a variable. So in maths also you study, like suppose there is a rectangle, there are some questions where you are given some uh, questions like there is a rectangle of side 20 centimeter and 5 centimeters. So what we do for that, we make a rectangle and write something like let the length be something. So we assume something. So for assuming also we use the statement let in the maths. In the same way here also the let command is used to assign any value or a data for any variable. Clear? The value of a let statement cannot be changed at the time of execution. So as the value which is being assigned to any of the variable, that will be a constant. So that value cannot be changed, means that as it is a constant, the value will not change till the program is in execution. Clear? So here you can see an example or the syntax also. For example, the syntax is let the name of the variable and equal to the value. So if I write let x is equal to 5. Clear? So this will be the syntax and as well as the example also. So here 5 is the value which is being assigned and x is, so 5 is a constant and x which is written, this is a variable. Clear? So the 5 will not change till the exam will till the program will run, till it will be executing. Then x is a variable. The command name is let. Okay, sorry, here it will be let x is equal to a. Let me change the color. So the command is let x is equal to 5. Clear? So this way we can write any of these commands with the syntax. Here you can see example also. Let a is equal to 10. So when we are writing any numerical value, so for that we have chosen a. When you will write any variable name with the dollar, it means that it is having some string. Clear? String constant and numeric constant we have seen. So here when we have written 10, this is a numerical value. When we are writing a string, so the string constant is always written in a double quotes. Clear? And for saving this string constant, we will need a string variable. So that is why we have chosen the dollar symbol with this name. So suppose your name is Rohan. So what we will write for that? You will have to write let. Okay, let us change the color. For that we will write, erase this. So if you want to save your name, so what we will write? Let name, and with this name we will need to write the dollar symbol. Why? Because this is a string constant which is being saved. So you'll write name dollar, then in double quotes you'll write Rohan. I hope this is clear, that whenever you are writing any string constant, that will be written in double quotes, and for saving those string constant we will need any variable. So this variable is a string variable, and this string variable is always written with the dollar sign. Clear? So in this example also we can see. So what is the use of let command? Let command is used for assigning any value to a variable. Clear? So you can see in the note also that the string constant value is always closed in the quotes. Clear? And dollar sign always comes at the end of the variable. So here lovely it is written. So in the lovely you can notice that there are double quotes. So it means it is a string constant, and the variable which is holding this, which is saving this value, that is having a dollar sign. Then next is go to statement. Let us erase all this and come to the next command, that is go to command. Okay, so let us see go to command. So go to command tells the computer to go to another place in the program and run the same program for a number of times unconditionally. Clear? So suppose we are writing any program, and in that program if you want to uh, go to any specific sentence, any specific line number, so for that we can use the go to command. Okay, to use go to command you need a line number or a label in the program where you wish to go while executing the program. So whenever we will use the go to command, for that we will need to write any line number or any label. Clear? We will see that how this go to command, what will be the syntax of this. Clear? So what is the use of go to command? The go to command is used to uh, um, for moving the program execution to any particular line or a particular label. So as you can see, this go to command will be used with a line number or a label in the program. So let us see now how it will look like, what will be the syntax of this. So here you can see that there is a syntax like go to the line number or the label. So whatever the line number or the label, this will be specified with the go to command. So here you can see example that first statement is print welcome, so it will write welcome. Then go to label, so I have given a name like label. So whatever, so from here, let me erase this first. Okay, now see, when first what will be done, first it will write welcome, then after executing this line, the first line, then it is written go to label. So it is written go to label, it means the control from this will come to this label like print computers. Clear? So here it is written 2 in between, so this will be skipped. So what will be the output of this? You can see that welcome computers. So the first statement was welcome and the second statement was computers. So first this welcome was written, and then this 2 in between, this will not be printed. Why? Because we have written go to label. So the control from this will come to this line. Clear? So it will come to the label, and it is written print computers. So whatever the value which is written in double quote, that will be printed. So the statement which will be printed is welcome computers. So this way you can see that how we can use the go to Clear? So here we have used a label. So whatever the label which is there, we have to write the same label with some whatever the statement is there. So this is the use of label and the goto command. I hope this is clear. So this was the syntax and this is the output, and you can see that whenever we will use the goto, whatever the statement which is in between those programs execution, that will be skipped. It means it will not be executed. So here this print 2 statement is not executed and it is skipped, and the control comes from the first line to this last line because of use of goto. Clear? So this is the use of goto command. Now in the next classes we will continue this the remaining commands which are left, and then we will see how to run or save these programs. Clear? So for that we will use the software window, and there we will try to run these and use these commands. So whatever the commands which we have seen, like goto, let command, int command, input, cls, then rem command, read all of these, okay, and write their syntax in the copy. Whatever the command we have read today, write the name of the command and their syntax and example of each. Clear? So this way you can learn these and understand this in a more better way. The remaining doubts and confusion we will discuss in the class also. So till then, revise all the topics and learn the things. Thank you and meet in the next class.